Jules, the Premier League is catching up with the rest of European football this season. They're going to introduce, we're going to have 5 substitutes. Dale Johnson wrote about it. You and I have talked about this before. It's standard in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It was introduced during the pandemic to help preserve the players. Most coaches love it. Most leagues love it. For some reason here, it's caused some level of debate.
Yeah, and Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have asked for it for a long time, and now finally their wish has been given to them. I haven't changed my mind. I don't like it. I don't like it because I think it benefits too much the big teams with the big squads. So if you can bring 5 players in, and you can suddenly have Nunez, Jota, Firmino coming on, plus, I don't know, Thiago Alcantara and whoever else, and you play against Burnley. Right. I was going to say Burnley. I don't know why I always say Burnley. But not
it's
Burnley
always
now.
the example.
Yeah, I know. Or Fulham, who clearly don't have the same depth of squad as you have. It's unfair. I know for the welfare of the players, it's important so you can rotate and they're less tired. I get it. I just think it's unfair to the smaller clubs. And I don't think City and Liverpool need it. They're already stronger than everybody else.
Okay, here's my response. Number one, we have statistical evidence from the leagues who already have it that it does not favor the big clubs. Because there are big clubs. No, it is true.
It's not true.
It's 100% statistically true because you can look at it and it's not like in smaller clubs, less well-funded clubs, have not been affected by this. In fact, in many cases, they've actually done better. If you look at data from the Bundesliga, from Serie A, and from La Liga, which I think are the 3 most comparable to the Premier League. I haven't looked at Liga 1, sorry, but I'm sure it's probably very similar there. And the reason for that is it doesn't matter in absolute terms the quality of the player who comes in. What makes the biggest difference is the difference in quality between the starter and his replacement. That is the single biggest thing that makes a difference. So while I agree with you that, to use your example, Fulham don't have as good a squad and the dude they're going to bring off the bench isn't going to be as good as Diogo Jota, for example.
Yeah.
The point is, what really makes a difference is, what is the difference between him fit and ready to go relative to the dude he's replacing for Fulham? And the reality is at smaller clubs, at mid-sized clubs, the difference isn't that big. And that's why among the biggest proponents of this last season in the Premier League were Thomas Frank at Brentford and Graham Potter at Brighton, who I think you'll agree are not 2 big clubs. It simply has to do with the way you construct your squad. It has to do with how much of a tactical manager you are, how much you tweak things. I think having fresh, depending on your style of play, having fresh legs on, if you're a pressing team, if you're defending, it opens up a lot of possibility. It makes it much more of a coached game, which you may not like, and some people may not like it. But then let's go back to not having substitutes at all. If we're going to go down that thing, I don't accept this argument that it favors the bigger teams because we have evidence that it doesn't.
I think it does. I think it really does. But we will see. We will see what happens in the Premier League. But I think
we've already seen in what's happened in the last couple of years. But let's go and get further evidence. In the Premier League. And when Brighton finish ahead of Everton this season,
maybe. But I want to see. I want to see tactically what it does, and if some managers then get found out for how rubbish they are because they can't manage the 5 subs. I think it's too many.
It's interesting. I mean, I think Dale found that Atletico Madrid were one of the few clubs that used all 5 subs in every game. Obviously, I think the way to look at it isn't that you're going to use 5 subs, because obviously you're always going to keep somebody in reserve in case there's an injury. It's just how often you go to 3 subs or 4 subs. One of the things that we've seen already, which has changed things, and we talked about this over the summer actually with Greg Berhalter, program subs, right? Having a situation where, okay, first half this way, and then I change my 2 guys up front, and I've got guys in tandem, and they know they're going to do this every game. It is different, and I know you're old school and a traditionalist, and that might be why you're down on it, but I'm okay with it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.